just for you. Stop by my office at 101 West Washington Street in Princeton or give me a call at 270-365-3545 to apply today. First Southern National Bank, Equal Housing Lender, Federal Registry 409424, NMLS 1002990.
Are you looking for America's greatest grill? A Holland Grill from Portland Gas Company. Holland Grills are the only grills guaranteed not to flare up and are proudly made in America. Stop by or give us a call at Portland Gas and we will give you the best deal on the Holland Grill. Treat yourself or someone special this season with a Holland Grill from Portland Gas Company, located on Highway 62 West in Princeton.
At Caldwell Medical Associates, we believe our surgical services are truly exceptional. Our highly trained surgeon, Dr. Sue Petty, along with a team of skilled nurses and technicians, provide years of experience in a wide range of procedures, including outpatient, laparoscopic, and general surgery. Let us be your partner for better quality health care right here at home. To make an appointment, contact Caldwell Medical Associates at 270-365-0332. That's 270-365-0332.
It's here now. The all-new 2019 Silverado from Chevrolet with the steely-eyed front end that will surely grab your attention. Space, comfort, and convenience all found in its accommodating interior. With built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi makes communicating simple. The new Silverado is mostly steel, unlike Ford, who went with aluminum for better fuel mileage. The Silverado gets you 22 mpg on highway and a stronger truck. The all-new Chevrolet Silverado will still be the most dependable, longest-lasting truck you will ever own. Tri-Suez Incorporated, Highway 91, Princeton.
The game is not far away. It's time for the Caldwell County pregame show on 1580 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
And welcome back to the cab. It is WPKY coverage of high school basketball tonight. The Caldwell County Tigers take on the Dawson Springs Panthers. Dennis Stevens here along with Bob Hayes and John Miller to bring you the action. And this is the Goodwin Insurance pregame show. Goodwin Insurance is your locally owned independent insurance agency capable of handling all of your insurance needs. So contact Goodwin Insurance today for a free quote. Bob, Caldwell County comes in riding a pretty nice set of recent games here, shooting the lights out in most of their games. They did have that the loss in the last game against a tough Clarksville Northeast team in the West Kentucky Hoops Classic. But in the two games prior to that, on day one of that Classic, they were absolutely on fire from the field, from the line, from three-point range. If they put it up, there was a good chance it was going that day.
And as you've we talking about stats here earlier tonight before the game, before we came on, and if you take away those first two games that we played, which we lost both of them, that our shooting has been just off the charts. And as we've mentioned throughout our broadcasts all year long, these kids can shoot the ball, not just one kid, but 7 or 8 of them on the bench. And we saw in the JV game tonight where Jay Brian Spikes and T.J. Ray wore out Dawson in the JV game from outside and inside as well. So we've got kids that can shoot the ball.
Yeah, and they're doing a great job of it. Just taking a look at some of the stats. Well, Caldwell, tell everybody, Caldwell comes in, had 9-4 on the season. Dawson Springs comes in at 5-7 on the year. But Caldwell County, if they can come out and share the ball, and I think that's the key. They're sharing the ball and they're getting some open shots, and I think that's allowing these players to shoot with the confidence and stepping towards the basket, taking a good high-quality shot, because they've gotten away, I think, from that first couple of games of, to us it seemed, at least looking from
just
the outside in.
One man just trying to carry the
one man got the 30 points.
Yeah, put the team on his back.
Got it after he got his 30. Now, Caldwell County is doing a great job of sharing the basketball. And coming into tonight, not counting the Northeast game, that one had not been updated on KHS AA yet. But through the first 12 games of the season, Caldwell County is shooting 50% from the field, shooting 40% from the three-point line, and 77% at the free throw line. That's a high school team.
And we've seen games where we've shot 18 out of 20 from the line, and our three-point shooting is, if you leave any one of 6 or 7 people open from the three, there's a good chance it's going down.
And just to brag on them a little bit more, 3 players on this squad are averaging over 80% at the free throw line, led by Tripp Branch, who's hitting at right at 84%. Then you've got John Davis at 83. Also, Darren Boyd rounded up to 83%. rest of the players are all in the 70s to 60s. Only one player is in the 50s. That's Jude East. He's only attempted 12 shots on the year, made 7 out of 12. So he's tickling that 60% mark. So Caldwell County, if they get to the line, drive the ball, get to the line, and a lot of these are capping off 2-point shots for 3-point plays. So Caldwell County is really lighting it up inside, outside, every way they can put it up. Free throw line, it doesn't matter. And they're getting high-quality shots.
And that's the key. Not only are we sharing the ball, that's leading to several of our baskets are assist-oriented. And when you share the ball, you know you're going to get your crack at it sometime because the ball works its way around the horn, inside, outside, and you just got to keep working, and the shot will be there.
They have attempted 164 3-point shots this year, made 66 of them. So you're looking at almost 40%, I would assume. Don't have the calculator handy right now on that, but doing a great job getting those open looks. But it's become a confidence factor. The way they played, they beat tough teams in the West Kentucky Hoops Classic. They lost a 9-point game late, but that was their third game in 2 days. Clarksville Northeast had played one the day before and then that one. So I'm sure fatigue was a little bit of a factor. Caldwell held that one close, actually had a lead in the third quarter of that game. So the guys are playing some good ball right now, but it's got to carry over. One thing you can't get a team to do that's playing well and they look to win every time out, you can't let that slip down and play down to your opponent. And you could easily come in tonight and think this Dawson team might be a sleeper game or might be a practice game for them. You can't come in with that kind of attitude and keep the stats going like they have them right now.
Exactly, and that I'm sure Coach K has instilled that into the young men. You've got to, when you come to the court, you come to play and not any 85, 75% effort on the court. So it's going to be an interesting to see Dawson. Speaking, as soon as I get the frog out of my throat here, Dawson has a propensity this year for putting up the 3-point shot in their last 3 games, one of which was a win in the Williamstown Holiday Tourney. They won their first game, lost their last 2, but in their last game of that tournament against Nicholas County, they shot 39 threes in that game and hit 14, which is right at a 30% rate, which is not a bad high school rate for threes. So we obviously know the scouting report tonight is that we cannot let them hurt us and gouge us from outside the arc.
No, I think with a little defense, a little pressure on Dawson, that percentage is going to come down. Actually, on the season overall, Dawson shoots 35% from the field, but only 25% from 3-point range. So you've got to come out, play some good defense. I'll look for Caldwell County to come out in probably a man-to-man early. You've got to control really one player for Dawson is taking care of most of the scoring. That's Skylar Clark. He'll be number 1 tonight for Dawson, averaging 22.5 a game. Landon Pace, the only other double-digit scorer for Dawson, comes into tonight averaging close to 12 a game. After that, it drops off to 7, 6, 5. Your average high school teams averages, I guess, for some of the kids farther on down the starting lineup or even off the bench. So you control Skylar Clark and play some good defense, take good shots on the other end. I think this is going to be a good night for Caldwell County. It's just not one that you want to mail in after the first half and think you've got it won.
No, it's going to be obviously we want to get off to a great start and obviously we'll be in a man-to-man. I would think we would not want to be playing a zone with their propensity to shoot the 3. So
you don't want to just let them have that one hot night.
Exactly, because once you get hot from 3, you got to feel for that whole night. So we don't want them to get off, any 1 or 2 or 3 of them to get off.
Bob, before we take a look at some of the Caldwell County players individually, I do want to point out that this is the Goodwin Insurance pregame show. Goodwin Insurance is your locally owned independent insurance agency. They can take care of all of your insurance needs, so give them a call today. They always offer a free quote. That's Goodwin Insurance. And a final, I guess, tip of the hat to Tori Hammond of Goodwin Insurance. I think he passed the frog over to me on here, but Tori did a great job setting up the West Kentucky Hoops Classic. Already had some teams lined up maybe for next season. I know the Webb School got an invitation while they were here in Princeton last week to come back next year for that classic. So a fun team to watch and a fun 2 days of basketball. So our hats off to Tori down at the insurance agency. But Bob, taking a look at some of the players on the team, of course, everybody's going to key on Darren Boyd. I skipped his last name there for a second. He's averaging about 25 points a game. He's in the top tier of the state in scoring. He's going to get his shots, but you've got some support coming up, and probably nobody hotter right now for the Tigers than Trip Branch.
What are the? We got about 3 or 4 in double figures, Dennis.
Scoring here, yeah, we've got 3 in double figures and 1 at 9.6. You've got Darren at 24 a game. These not counting the Northeast game, 24 a game. Caden Fralick's at 11. John Davis at 11. Trip Branch 9.6. So you can say 10 points a game. So 4 kids in double figures for Caldwell County, and 4 kids in double figures and still shooting 50% from the fields. That's pretty remarkable.
We just do not depend on one man, and as you say, once we got past those first 2 games against Lyon County, which we probably will play that game a little bit differently when we meet Lyon County back up here again, and then the next 3 nights later against Union County over at Webster County, we didn't look well at all in that game and only lost that one by 3 or 4. But then the turnaround came. And it's been a really one loss in those last 10 games, I think.
Yeah, they played some great ball. Actually, the Northeast game, even though they lost that one, they looked pretty good considering that you're playing your 3rd game in 2 days.
And they had shooters. In fact, what beat us in that game was not the inside game. We stopped that, but they nailed probably 9 threes from against us. And they're a quick team, a good rebounding team, and I would like to keep up with them a little bit more as the year goes on to see how they do, because it was a quality opponent.
And one thing I think they got away from in the Northeast game was they forced the shots a little bit. They'd been so red hot the day before. They forced them a little bit. The assist ratio was very low that day. They had next to no assist on the game against Northeast. So we've got to share the ball. We've got to make the passes, work the ball around, and that's what's creating the open shots for us. But if we get away from that, I think we're going to come down and just jack up the first open 3 that we get. Your assist ratio goes down, and your points are probably going to go down on top of that. So
and the other thing,
game, you got to keep that in mind the whole time.
Exactly, and that game against Clarksville Northeast, we didn't tip that off till like 8:30, maybe 8:45. So it's a unique time of night to start playing a basketball game. And
it was like one of those late UK games on ESPN that nobody likes.
It was the finale, and it was a great end to a great 2-day tournament. We just can't brag on Torrey Hammond and the job that he did in that tournament enough. It was just very classy, professionally run, no complaints that I have heard. And when you mentioned the invitation being extended back to the Webb School will have probably one of the top 50 players in the country next year, already being looked at by Tennessee, Vanderbilt, and Ole Miss, and a host of other big-time schools. Florida, the kid can play. So it's going to be interesting in our own hometown to have another quality tournament next year.
Yeah, if you haven't already, make your plans for the Thursday and Friday after Christmas next year. Well worth the $13 admission that we had this year. Bob, we're about 3.5 minutes away from tipping this one off like we do every time we take the air. Now we have a prayer for these kids, and we're going to do that at this point. Holy God, thank you for another night at the gym. We ask that you protect each student that steps on the court tonight, and we also ask that you bless the efforts of each student in ways they never thought possible. In Jesus' name we pray.
And further, Lord, we ask you to give courage and sportsmanship to the players, patience and understanding to the coaches, wisdom and knowledge to the game officials, and lastly, peace to us all. We ask these things in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. Getting set to get the starting lineups here before too awfully long, Bob. This team is, we've talked about their shooting. We've talked about the offense. 4 kids shooting in double figures on the season. One thing that the Tigers are really starting to sport is some tough, sticky defense. And that's a lot of times led by a couple of players that we don't mention a lot in the scoring column, but defensively, Darius Riley and Jamarius Blaine are playing some good ball. In fact, there was a game not long ago. Riley kept us in it in the first quarter, just rebounding alone.
Those kids have been starting all year long, and they are really quick, defensive oriented, defensive minded. Obviously can score when they get a chance to score. And Coach K has a luxury of playing 8 or 9 kids. So nobody ever gets worn out having to go a 32-minute game. So just a lot of talent on this year's team, and they've worked really hard over the summer. You can see kids improving as we go game by game, and we only have 2 seniors on the high school team, so it bodes well. And as we mentioned, Javion Spikes, a freshman, is gearing up to become a really nice player by the time he finishes his high school career. So the only 2 seniors are Darren Boyd and John Davis, and so next year we ought to be set for another excellent team.
Yeah, in fact, Jabrion's got a few minutes varsity play this season, so the kid's going to get a lot more, as you can well imagine, next season. Just over a minute to go before we get the starting lineups here.
And no band here tonight, Dennis, but the Crazies, I think, are about 80% full over there in their section.
And I'm sure they'll get into this one. This starts a run of district games for Caldwell County, as the girls did last night in a big win at Dawson. The boys against Dawson tonight. Next week they'll take on Hopkins Central, and a big doubleheader, boys, girls, with Madisonville. So a big time in district. We got the classic past us. We got the early games gone, and it's pretty much crunch time right now, as Coach Barnes would do in football. Everything is focused on what you do in these district games and where we play in that district tournament with the seeding. So I'm excited about tonight and to see how the boys respond.
And I saw a score about 3 or 4 games, maybe not that long back. Madisonville played Muhlenberg and only beat them by 4 points, and we beat them in overtime. So Madisonville has one of the probably top 3 teams, 4 teams in the region, and we're playing at that level. So on any given night, Dennis, as they say.
We'll keep it right here for the national anthem and let you pick that up, and then we'll be back with the starting lineups after the anthem. County. That's the national anthem here for the game tonight between Caldwell County and Dawson. Set now for the starting lineups, and to bring you those, my broadcast partner, Bob Hayes.
Thank you, Dennis. And Dawson will be introduced first, being the visiting team. And before they introduce, we got a great crowd here, Dennis. A big crowd here on Dawson's side. And
yeah, it is.
First Dawson Panther out is Skylar Clark. Next out is number 3, Logan McKnight. Number 5, Landon Pace being introduced. Number 10, Austin Skinner being introduced. And number 34, Dylan Dawson. Those are your 5 Dawson Springs Panthers. For Caldwell County, coming out first is number 2, Adarius Riley. Number 4, Darren Boyd. Number 5, Jamarius Blaine. Number 20, John Davis getting the start. And 22, finishing out the starting 5, is Caden Frelix. And we remind you that this first quarter is being brought to you by Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique, located next to the bowling alley in Princeton. Beautiful furniture, baby furniture, gifts and registry, home decor, boutique clothes and accessories. Stop in and meet Jake, the store mascot. Cozy Living, everything a home should be. Officials now gathering. A couple of them are going down and talking to the crazies. Guess the crazies may be too close to the sideline, I guess. So a little order of business there. And to take us through the first quarter here, he's going to have problems all night long with that, with the crazies,
yeah.
Dennis. If he's
I think is he trying to get them off the actual floor?
I'm not
they're outside the court area, even in the walkway.
And for the call of the first quarter here, my broadcast partner, Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. Tip controlled by Caldwell County. Tip brought to you by Farless Realty. It's Darren Boyd taking it to the hoop early. Layup no good. Caldwell County crashed the boards, but I think it's going to be out of bounds off of Dawson. Good job, as we said, right off the bat by Jamarius Blaine. So Caldwell County keeps it. They get it to Frelix. Frelix wanted to drive the lane, and he's going to be fouled at the free throw line. Foul's going to be on number 3, Logan McKnight for Dawson, their first. And Caldwell County will have it side out as we are underway here in the first quarter. Frelix to take it out, gets it into Boyd. Good matchup tonight. Boyd's going to be guarded by Skylar Clark. Boyd, stutter step, goes up, layup off the rim, good. And Caldwell County with the early lead, 2-0. Caldwell County with the pressure defense on the side, steal by Boyd as he comes across the timeline, gets it over to Blaine. Blaine's going to dish it back out to Frelix, turn down the open 3, drives it in, puts the layup up, no good. Rebound goes to Dawson, and it's Dawson for Dawson. That's going to be a tough one here tonight, Bob, as we call that young man's name. Dawson works it up against some full court pressure. They get it into the front court. It's Skylar Clark with the ball, their leading scorer, guarded by Jamarius Blaine. And I think Jamarius is going to pick up the hand check foul on Clark. Clark is a scorer. You've got to have a good defensive player on him, averaging a little over 22 points a ball game. Foul has Dawson taking it out on their own baseline. They get it into Clark. He launches a long 3 from the right wing. Good three-pointer for Skylar Clark, and Caldwell County trails now 3-2. John Davis into the front court. Gets it into Boyd. Boyd free throw line high. Little crisscross action. John Davis wide open. Layup on the left side. Good. And Caldwell again brings the defense. Dawson able to get through the middle momentarily. The ball kicked around, and it's going to be Boyd tiptoeing the baseline. Keeps it in play. Steal for Caldwell County. Over to Blaine, up, or over to Riley, rather, up, no good. Frelix with the rebound, no good from just the other side of the basket. So Dawson comes the other way. They get it underneath. Shot up and good off the board by Logan McKnight. Dawson back out in front, 5-4. Good pass underneath. That one gets in from a Darius Riley. A little snowbirding action by Riley. Back for Caldwell County, and gives the Tigers the lead back at 6-5. McKnight from the left corner. No good. Ball tipped around Finally, it's Boyd comes away with the rebound. Dawson man-to-man. Boyd, top of the key, three off the front of the rim, no good. Riley picks it up, shot well short. And it's Dawson Springs the other way. Clark, right corner on the long pass, good for a three. Skylar Clark with the hot hand early for Dawson Springs. And Coach K wants a timeout. It's going to be a 30-second timeout, so we're going to keep it right here, John. Timeout's brought to you this season by Rousseau Law. Rousseau Law is located in downtown Princeton, ready to serve all of your legal needs. Bob, 5:32 left to go in the first quarter, but Dawson's coming out getting Skylar Clark open from the three-point line. He's nailed a couple, and they have a 2-point lead right now.
And from what I've been able to see, they've shot it 3 times and made 2 from three-point land, and so we've got to get back on. We're pressing a little bit on the defensive end. We've got to get back on in the front court to pick these shooters up.
Yeah, the press doesn't look like it's getting set up very well. Dawson's been able to break it with relative ease so far, and that's resulted in some open threes for Skylar Clark.
And he's been wide open each time, and he's drilled them.
Ball back in play as John Davis brings it up. The Panthers stay in the man-to-man. They get it to Boyd, left wing. He's going to drive, puts a shot up, off the board, no good. But he'll get his first chance at the free throw line tonight with a couple of Lake Barkley CrossFit free throws. Boyd, as we said, shooting over 84% from the line this season. This one up and good. Enhancing athletic performance locally since 2014. That's Lake Barkley CrossFit. 84.4. No, excuse me. Darren Boyd is 82.5 on the season. Second one good. And we are tied at 8. Steal on the inbounds pass by Trip Branch. Gets it to the trailer. Fralix puts it up off the board. Farmers bank shot for Caden Fralix. And Caldwell with back-to-back points puts them up 10-8. Dawson a little more trouble this time getting the ball up. Actually stepped on the sideline, not called. They'll launch a three, and that one's good. Dawson letting it fly from three-point range. Landon Pace with the bucket. Caldwell gets it back quickly. It's Riley. He wanted to feed Boyd going down the lane. That one's tipped away. Bob, you mentioned that Dawson Springs had a game recently. They shot 39 threes. They're on a pace right now to put well up in the 20s up.
Absolutely. 5 shots already.
It's going to be Caldwell basketball out of bounds on the side near the baseline. Fralix puts it into Davis. Davis went off a screen by Boyd. Now looks around, gets it back to Darren. Darren crossover dribble, pulls up from 12 feet. This one rattles and stays in. Shooter's roll for Darren Boyd. And Caldwell's up 12-11. Pressed by Caldwell County. Dawson breaks it, gets it down into the corner. Back out to the wing. It's going to be Pace again off the front of the rim. No good. But McKnight picks it up for Dawson. Gets it over to Clark. Clark with the runner. No good. Gets his own rebound. Somehow got away with a walk. They save it inbound. Shot up. No good. Finally rebounded by John Davis, who's double teamed before he gets to the mid-court line. Has it taken away, and Dawson has it. Three-point shot by Clark. Well off the mark. But a back tip by Dawson away from John Davis. Gave it to the Panthers for just a second, but it was Pace stepping on the line. And Caldwell County will bring the ball up, leading this one by 1 halfway through the first quarter. Cole Smiley in the ball game takes the entry pass, kicks it back out to Fralix for a three. A Goodwin Insurance three-pointer. Caden Fralix, 15-11, Caldwell County.
And our first three-pointer of the night.
Dawson brings it up. They get it to that right corner. They like to work it from there. And a touch foul. Not much there at all. I think they're going to call Fralix with that, but it is going to be against Caden. Not much to that one, Bob.
No, not much at all.
Dawson takes it out underneath their own basket. They get it into Clark. He goes up, tries to draw the foul. Rebound to Smiley. Smiley, the quick outlet to Branch. Branch takes it all the way. Left-handed layup up and in. Farmers bank shot for Trip Branch. And Dawson's coach wants a timeout. Also a 30-second, John, so we'll keep it right here. Is it a full or a 30? He did change it to a full, so John, we'll take a break and be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Tiger Basketball on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
For your home for Tiger Sports, 1580, 103.3 WPKY and WPKYonline.com. Tiger Sports coverage is brought to you in part by Taco John's, Caldwell Medical Center, Farmers Bank and Trust, Black Patch Grill, Goodwin Insurance, Dr. Carl Hinton, Jeff Russo Attorney, First Southern National Bank, Little Caesars Pizza, and by McGregor Group Heating and Cooling on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. The voice of the Caldwell County Tigers.
And welcome back here to the Cab. 3 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Caldwell County off on a little scoring bench. Now taking a 6-point lead at 17-11. And Dawson will inbound at side backcourt. And for the call of the game, my partner, Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. Dawson puts it into play. They bring it across. It's Caden Fralix guarding the point. Dawson works it around. Top of the key now is Clark. Clark guarded by Branch.
And in the game for the Tigers, T.J. Ray, one of the players, stars in the JV game.
Dawson, 3 from the left wing, off the mark, no good. Ball loose on the floor. Boyd was in a battle with, let's see, number 3 is McKnight for Dawson. Or did they call a foul, Bob, or just
I think
one of them out of bounds on the baseline?
They got one on Darren.
Okay, Boyd with the foul. So Dawson keeps the ball. Clark, long way away from the left wing, but that's nothing to him. He's already shot one from about 25 earlier. They get it over to number 10, Skinner. Skinner open from the top of the key. He'll put it up and hit it. And Dawson using the three-point shot to stay in this one. It's Caldwell County leading 17-14. Boyd brings it across. Works it into Smiley. Smiley backs it in, gets it to Trip Branch on the baseline. Nice pass from Smiley on the assist to Branch. And Caldwell County leads 19-14. Dawson breaks the press. They get it to Skylar Clark on the right wing. Back out to Skinner. Skinner to Clark. With the fake on Ray, goes up for the shot inside, no good. Caden Fralix with a strong rebound, gets it up to Boyd. Boyd left side, underneath to Smiley, goes up for the shot, up and in. And he'll go to the free throw line. Cole Smiley with a nice bucket inside. Good assist by Darren Boyd. So a Lake Barkley CrossFit free throw coming up to try to cap off a three-point play by Cole Smiley. Foul is on number 34, Dylan Dawson, his first and the team third.
We may see triple digits tonight by both teams. Dennis, it's already 21 points for the Tigers in the first quarter.
Yeah, if Dawson stays this hot, they may be right there with us as we try to get to that 104 mark for the first time in a long time.
I'm not sure we've been in the 90s.
No. Smiley's free throw off the rim, no good. Dawson with the rebound. Literally. Dawson Springs works it up, three-point shot, no good. Smiley with a strong rebound, gets it up to Darren Boyd. Boyd with a quick pass to an open Smiley in the lane, off the board, Farmers bank shot. Nice spin move by Cole Smiley.
Another assist by Darren on that one.
Dawson breaks the press, puts it into the corner to McKnight. Back out to Clark. He'll launch a three. Good. Skylar Clark leading the three brigade for Dawson tonight. 23-17. Boyd drives the lane, dumps it down into Smiley. Smiley having his way underneath, and Boyd doing a good job drawing the defense to him and able to dump it off to the much taller Smiley underneath. Steal by Caldwell County's Boyd. Puts the pass over to Blaine. Blaine puts it in, and he'll go to the free throw line.
7 Tigers have scored so far tonight, Dennis. That's how well they're sharing the basketball.
And the lead's ballooned out to 10. And the only thing keeping Dawson in it right now is three-point shooting.
It's 5 threes so far tonight. 15 of their 17 points have been via the three.
Lake Barkley CrossFit free throw coming up for a Darius Riley, or excuse me, for a Jamarius Blaine. Misses that one. Dawson has a minute to work with here in the bottom of the first quarter. Skinner has the ball against Blaine. He'll dump it off to Clark. Clark keeps the ball in his hands so far tonight, Bob, about 75% of the time for Dawson. Puts up a tough off-balance shot over Cole Smiley. It goes, and they'll get Smiley with the foul. So Skylar Clark, the real deal for Dawson Springs.
Already has 11 points so far in the game.
He'll get the free throw to try to cap his three-point playoff. Does not make it. John Davis quickly the other way with 42 seconds to go in the quarter. TJ Ray down to the baseline to Blaine. Blaine splits a couple of players, drops it off to Smiley, puts it up no good. Smiley gets his own rebound up and in. And Cole Smiley with his biggest first quarter so far of the season. Boyd knocks the inbound pass out of bounds. It'll stay Panther ball. Clark will bring it up, gets it underneath. Caldwell County went to sleep a little bit, still came up with the steal on a nice recovery by Cole Smiley. Caldwell the other way, and it's going to be Blaine getting fouled as he tries to hit the lane from the right side. Let's see what they'll call that foul on. Fifth of the quarter on Dawson. Foul is on number 10, Skinner. Caldwell gets it in to Boyd. 17 seconds to go in the quarter. Caldwell's going to put 4 on the baseline, clear it out for Boyd. He'll come off a screen by Smiley, drives, left-handed layup, good. Darren Boyd pushes the lead out to 12 as we have 1 second, three-point attempt, no good by Dawson. So after 1 quarter of play, it's Caldwell County 31 and Dawson Springs 19. We'll be back for second quarter action in 30 seconds. You're listening to Tiger Basketball on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
Victim of debit or credit card fraud? Farmers Bank and Trust can help lessen your risk of getting taken advantage of. As our customer, you have exclusive access to a security feature in our app that will allow you to turn your debit card off while you're not using it, then turn it on instantly when you need to use it. Keep your information safe. Log into our free app to use this feature, increasing the security of your information right now. Not a Farmers Bank customer? Come down. Let us set up your account and start protecting you from potential fraud opportunities. This is not a guarantee that your information will not be compromised. This is an increased security measure. Farmers Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Back to Tiger Sports on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
And welcome back to the Cab. Second quarter being brought to you by Cozy Living, Interiors and Boutique, located next to the bowling alley here in Princeton. Go see Pam as she's probably got some specials after Christmas, get furniture coming in. Dawson to inbound the ball to start the second quarter, and for the call, Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. Dawson has, I keep wanting to call him Boston for some reason tonight. Dawson has it down by 12 as we open the second quarter. It's Pace. Pace drives the lane. He's going to get fouled. And they're going to call that one on John Davis. That will be Davis's first. 15 foul on Caldwell County. 5 fouls on both teams so far here in the first half. Dawson gets it into Clark. He's guarded by TJ Ray. Ray pushes him to the baseline. Clark tries to back him in. And they're going to call Ray. It was okay in the 70s, not so much today, and Ray gets called for the foul. Dawson puts it in. Into the game, also Jude East for Caldwell County. Dawson, right wing. They get it over to McKnight. Back out to Clark. Clark still guarded by Ray. Ray helps with a double team on Clark. They'll work it around. Three-point shot, no good. Dawson saves it inbounds, though, to John Davis. Davis pulls it up, gets it to Blaine on the baseline, has his shot partially blocked. Fralix puts the ball back up on the rebound, and good. Caden Fralix with the bucket. And a quick steal underneath on the inbounds play by TJ Ray. And Caldwell County will get 2 more points, and Ray will go to the line to try to cap a 3-point play. Bob, you can't look down at the score sheet or the
No,
roster here.
I didn't even see the ball go in.
And you might miss something in this game. Caldwell County's biggest first quarter of the season, as best as I can remember, 31 points, and they're trying to get up over 50 here in the first half. Ray with the Lake Barkley CrossFit free throw gets the kind roll on the rim. Good three-point play by TJ Ray.
8 Tigers have now scored tonight.
Dawson works against that press. They get it down to Skinner. Skinner has it deflected on the pass back out front. Ball on the floor. John Davis comes up with it. Has it stolen back away. Now the ball's still loose. Referees decided to call something eventually. Whistle blows.
Cannot call a jump ball because nobody had it tied up. So what is the call?
Like they were trying to tackle a greased pig there for a minute. Inadvertent whistle by the referee.
It's our ball.
So would the possession arrow give it to Dawson, or are they going to say Caldwell had possession when the whistle blew? I think that's the discussion because John Davis had it when the whistle blew while he was on the floor.
And maybe it gotten fouled too, where they're calling some of these other fouls.
But the possession arrow is in favor of Dawson Springs. Conversation in front of Coach K. And they'll call both coaches to mid-court and try to sort this one out. Very experienced referee crew tonight. We've seen all of these guys around several times around the area. So
I think they're going to give it to Dawson.
And it is going to be a possession arrow call on the inadvertent whistle and give it to the Panthers. Dawson kind of showed their hands as the referees threw the ball to each other instead of the inbound passer. Dawson gets it in, gets it over to Clark. Clark guarded by Boyd. Clark way out front. Puts the pass down underneath to Dylan Dawson. And it's 36-21. Davis quickly the other way, goes up off the board, no good. Rebound is knocked out of bounds. I think they're going to call Jamarius Blaine for the foul on the push.
Jamarius' second foul. He's the only Tiger with 2 fouls.
And we'll go to the other end for a 1-and-1. Let's see who it was going for the rebound. That's going to be number 5, Landon Pace. He'll get 1 in the bonus for the Panthers. 6:25 to go in the first half. Shot up and good. Tripp Branch is going to check back in for Caldwell County, and Jamarius Blaine will come out. Caldwell Crazy's getting loosened up on the sideline with the countdown. Shot good. 36-23. Caldwell County leads this one by 13. Panthers are going to go with a 1-2-2 trap. Caldwell breaks it, gets it up to Branch. Wide open from 3 range as Davis lets it go, no good. Rebound comes down to the Panthers. Outlet pass is blocked. Caden Fralick saves it inbounds, gets it over to Boyd. Boyd puts a no-look pass back to Fralick, goes up off the board and good. Caden Fralick with the bucket. Caldwell County's going to come back with the pressure. It's Pace trying to get it up, gets it across the midcourt stripe. They'll work it down to Dawson. Dawson with a little sky hook, maybe sky hook underneath. And it's 38-25. Boyd quickly the other way. Did a little shake and bake at the top of the key. Got fouled before the shot. But he'll have a chance at a 1-and-1.
I think they got Skylar Clark. It's his second foul.
And that could be big because that kid
they
basically kept Dawson in as much as they are right now in that first quarter.
And they're still way over 5 minutes. He's coming out for a little rest.
Number 21, Kobe Williams, will come in for Skylar Clark. Caldwell County could make some hay right here with Clark on the bench, as Boyd will take a Lake Barkley CrossFit free throw. This one good. Lake Barkley CrossFit has classes designed for anyone at any fitness level and are always free to come and try. Boyd with the free throw, good. 40-25, still Bob, over 5.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Back tip against Dawson by Caldwell County. They'll come up with the steal as it goes into the hands of Trip Branch. Branch will bring it across the midcourt stripe, works it back out front to Fralix, wide open left wing, no good off the front of the rim. Bounces all the way back to him for the rebound. Smiley had it on the side, tried to go underneath the Fralix, picked off by Dawson. Outlet pass to the other end is deflected out of bounds by Darren Boyd. Bob, you're going to be in some pretty good shape to play on the court tonight with these two teams. There's no, you don't have to worry about if they did have a shot clock. They wouldn't come close to it tonight. Dawson works it around. Pace has it now, top of the key. Caldwell still man-to-man. Davis defensively. Now they'll work it inside. Back out to Pace. Pace drives baseline. Gets out of control and throws it to the side. And they're going to say deflected.
They bailed him out on that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. They're going to say Caldwell County deflected the ball out of bounds. And I'm not sure about that one either. Panthers keep it. They get it in to Williams. Almost stolen away by Boyd.
And that looked like that ricocheted off Darren off the Dawson leg.
They're going to keep it with the Panthers on the side near midcourt. Landon Pace takes over the point in place of Clark. Pace gets it over to McKnight. McKnight guarded by Boyd. Steal by Caden Fralix. Saves it. But the pass back in on the save to Boyd. Gets away from Boyd. He goes out of bounds side court. It'll be Dawson Springs basketball. 4:34 to go in the first half. Caldwell leads this one 40-25. Caldwell County is going to call off the press. Straight up man-to-man as Pace has it against Davis. Gets it over to Skinner. Skinner wants to drive on Fralix. Puts it into the corner. Back out front and up and in for number 34, Dylan Dawson. Dawson's helping the Panthers calls out down low. Boyd with a nice pass to a cutting Caden Fralix along the baseline, 42-25. That one was pretty. Dawson quickly the other way, three-point try, left corner off the back of the rim, no good. Trip Branch up high for the rebound. Outlet pass goes to Boyd. Assist coming up. Oh, I thought Fralix had that one easy. I kind of mailed that one in. The call, I thought there's no way Caden's going to miss that after a great pass from Trip Branch. Goes out of bounds and off of Caldwell County. So Dawson comes back the other way. It's Pace with the handoff to Skinner. Skinner goes up from about 12 feet, good. And Coach K will call a timeout as Dawson is pulled back within 13, 42-29. It's a 30, so we'll keep it right here. 3:33 to go in the second quarter. And Bob, Caldwell County has looked really good sharing the ball tonight. They're getting out on the breaks. I think the press was ineffective early. They tightened that up and got focused on where they were supposed to be. Kind of stalled Dawson out a little bit as we started the second quarter. And the press stayed on until that last possession by Dawson. But I think as the game went along from the start to when they stopped it here in the second quarter, the press got better with each possession by Dawson.
Dawson has not made a three-point field goal here in the second quarter, and their field goals have been two-point field goals, so that means we're obviously getting out on the shooter a little bit more, but maybe losing people inside a little bit, but I'd rather give up a 2 than a 3.
Yeah, big Dylan Dawson has helped the Panthers cause quite a bit here in the second quarter. Caldwell County has it out of the timeout. Timeout's brought to you by Rousseau Law. Three-point attempt, no good by Boyd. Rebound, Branch gets it over to Fralix. Fralix puts it up, misses, gets a tip, and back in. Caden Fralix with the bucket for Caldwell County, 44-29 Tigers.
Caden in the right place at the right time.
Dawson works a little weave out front. They get it over to McKnight. Skylar Clark back in the ball game for Dawson. Back to McKnight. Good denial by Trip Branch to Clark. Now Clark's going to have to come all the way out to midcourt to pick it up. He's met there by Darren Boyd. He'll launch a three in front of the Tiger bench. No good. John Davis with the rebound. He's going to keep it himself. Drives it into the lane, off the board. Farmer's bank shot. John Davis Good ball control by Davis, and it's 46-29 Caldwell County. Dawson looked like they tripped, got tangled on their own feet on the side, but Tripp Branch is going to pay the price with the foul. Right in front of the Crazies. They tried to help with the call, but no good. As Skylar Clark's going to go to the free throw line for the bonus.
And that was just a little bit questionable, too, that particular call.
Yeah, it looked like he was a little out of control.
Falling down and
tried to pull the ball back up, but Clark will go to the line for one in the bonus. Shot up and good. As Dawson hits the 30-point mark with 2:33 to go.
Coach K is really vehemently discussing the situation we're on the refs.
Second shot, no good. Cole Smiley with the big rebound. Yeah, Coach K had a pretty friendly conversation at first as a no-look pass down to a wide-open Cole Smiley. 48-30 Caldwell County, but as longer the conversation went, the more heated Coach K got. And Coach Gray came up and kind of escorted him back to the bench a little bit.
Darren just picked up his second foul. Darren's on his way to a triple-double tonight. 2, 4, he's got 7 assists already. Probably about 7 or 8 rebounds as well.
Dawson is going to go to the line. One in the bonus, 9th foul on Caldwell County. First shot, no good. And it's Smiley with the big rebound. Outlet pass from Fralix over to Branch. Branch with the ball fake, goes up and in. And Tripp Branch will go to the line.
You know who shot the free throw down here, Dennis?
That was number
20.
3.
Was it?
I thought it was number 3.
Okay, we'll let 3 have the loss, have the miss.
Tripp Branch at the line, the leading free throw shooter for Caldwell County this season. Blake Bartley CrossFit free throw as Caldwell County has hit the 50-point mark. Shot up and good. 51-30. Caldwell County leads this one by 21. As a Darius Riley checks back in, and Tripp Branch will come out of the ball game. Dawson across midcourt. They get it out to Clark. Clark guarded by Riley. They'll work it into the corner to Pace. He drives, shot up, no good. Cole Smiley with a bushel basket of rebounds tonight. Gets another one. Boyd has this one knocked out of his hand from behind. It'll stay Caldwell County basketball side out on the far sideline. 1:54 to go in the first half. Caldwell gets it into Boyd. Boyd's guarded by Skinner. Big size advantage by Boyd. He wanted to take it into Smiley, knocked away by Dawson. It'll stay Tiger basketball underneath their own bucket. They get it into Davis, out to Fralix, to the corner to Boyd. He'll launch a 3 from the right corner. Goodwin Insurance three-pointer for Darren Boyd. Caldwell County pouring it on here in the first half. Skylar Clark gets it to McKnight. McKnight out to Skinner. Skinner guarded by Fralix. They'll switch it over to Pace, who hands it off to Clark. Getting a hand on it and a steal was Riley. But he tried to get it back up to Smiley. Picked off. Dawson back with it. Pace from the corner. 3, good. Yeah, the referees must have something they want to watch on a Friday night at home. We get this one over early. Smiley with the ball, free throw line, hands it off to Boyd. Shot no good. Rebound comes down to Skinner. Skinner quickly the other way. Gets it over to Pace. Back out to Clark. Clark's guarded by Darius Riley. Came back into the ballgame just a couple of minutes ago. Under a minute to play here in the half. Clark has it tipped away. Out of bounds by Riley. Good defensive pressure by Darius Riley, a 5'11 junior guard for Caldwell County. It's going to be Skinner to take it out on the side. Gets it into Pace. Pace gets it into Dawson. A little give and go. Dawson back to Pace. Easy left-handed layup. And Caldwell County has the lead at 54-35. They'll have just at 20 seconds as Boyd comes across the timeline. Dawson comes out far enough to get the count on. Over to Davis. Davis on the left side. Dribbles in, gets it back to Boyd. Boyd has a double screen up front, drives it down towards the baseline, goes underneath to Fralix. Off of Fralix's hand, just a little too much sauce on that one from short range. And Dawson has 1.8 seconds left in the first half. Long pass all the way up court, three-point attempt off the back of the rim, no good. So at the half, it's Caldwell County 54, Dawson Springs 35. We'll be back with the Farless Realty halftime report coming your way in about 3 minutes, so stay tuned. You're listening to Tiger Basketball on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
This is Gloria Smith with the Law Office of Jeff Russo. Are you buying or selling real estate? Are you planning on refinancing your existing home loan? If so, you should be aware that you have your choice in which attorney provides the legal services associated with such transactions. Our law office has over 50 years of experience in real estate law. We pride ourselves on being cost-effective and having a quick turnaround time. If you're in need of such services, call us today at 365-2763 or find us on the web at www.jeffrussolaw.com. We are located in downtown Princeton on the east side of the courthouse.
This is an advertisement.
Happy New Year from Herb Hayes Furniture and Mattress. The Big Red Riot started nearly a week ago and continues today from 10 until 4. Every item is reduced. Living room, dining room, bedroom furniture, mattress sets, bunk beds, chairs, rockers, recliners, and much more. Buy with interest-free financing for up to 3 full years. The Big Red Riot at Herb Hayes Furniture and Mattress, where you always get the best selection, the best furniture at the best price on the Boulevard in Hopkinsville.
Always the best.
What does your morning sound like?
Morning, Al.
Next stop, 32nd Street.
Welcome to McDonald's.
Hi, can I get an Egg McMuffin, please? Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
For authentic Mexican cuisine, head to La Pontecina Mexican Restaurant in Princeton or Marion. Maria's specials are a local favorite you're sure to love. Or you might want to try the new street tacos. Tacos de asada, tacos de carnita, or tacos de chorizo. La Pontecina is now open 7 days a week, Monday through Thursday, 11 to 9. Friday and Saturday, 11 to 9:30. And Sundays, 11 to 9. And they offer lunch specials Monday through Friday, 11 to 3. Be sure to like them on Facebook for updates and specials. La Pontecina Mexican Restaurant in Princeton or Marion.
Over time, hearing fades, and you may not notice until you hear the difference.
At Audibel, we fix broken ears. If you're dealing with hearing loss, or if you're not happy with your current hearing aid, come experience the Audibel difference. I'm Donnie Baker, helping you hear well at Audibel.
And for a limited time, mention this ad and get an extra year of batteries for free. Only at Audibel, with hearing centers in Paducah, Murray, and Princeton. Call Audibel for your free hearing test. 554-1900.
Planters Bank, located at 208 North Jefferson Street, is locally owned and operated with a strong, sincere focus on customer service. Planters Bank has a diverse team of seasoned professionals in Western Kentucky and Clarksville, Tennessee. Since first opening their doors, Planters Bank has made a name for itself as an energetic player in the financial services market. Stop by and talk to the friendly folks at Planters and find out about the You Choose Rewards program. Planters Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
The teams are in the locker room preparing for the second half. It's time for the Caldwell County Halftime Show on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
Welcome back to the Cab. We're at halftime as Caldwell County leads Dawson Springs 54-35. This is the Farless Realty Halftime Show. Farless Realty asks, are you ready to sell your home? Give them a call today and let a realtor sell the home for you. Ready to buy a home? You don't have to waste precious time. Farless Realty can help, and interest rates are still reasonably low. They'll work hard to find you a home that will fit you, your family, and your budget. So contact Farless Realty today at 270-365-5058. or you can stop by Farless Realty at 323 South Jefferson Street in Princeton. You can check out all their listings on Facebook and at farlessrealty.com. And Bob, I don't know whether to ask for stats from the basketball game or the times in the quarter mile for some of these teams, because it is a horse race out here tonight as both teams up and down the floor. Caldwell County on pace to score 108 in this one if they kept this pace up for a second half. So I'll turn the stats over to you and let you tell us how good 8 Caldwell County Tigers are scoring in the books tonight.
Well, when you say sprint, you're correct, Dennis. This is going to be a racehorse basketball game. Dawson back out on the floor with well over 5 minutes left in the halftime. Caldwell County outscoring Dawson Springs 31-19 in the first quarter and outscoring them 23-16 in the second quarter to lead here at halftime by 19 points, 54-35. For Caldwell County, big nights from Darian Boyd with 13 points in the first half. He has 3 two-point field goals, 1 three-pointer, and 4 out of 4 from the free throw line for 13. Also with 13 points is Caden Fralix, 5 field goals and a three-pointer for his 13 points. 10 points for Cole Smiley on 5 field goals. 7 points for Trent Branch, 3 field goals, 1 out of 1 from the charity stripe. 4 points for John Davis on 2 field goals. 3 points for TJ Ray on a field goal and 1 out of 1 from the free throw line. 2 points for Adarius Riley on a field goal and 2 points for Jamarius Blaine on a field goal. Caldwell County with 21 two-point field goals in the first half, 2 threes. They were 6 out of 8 from the free throw line, and I have us with 5 turnovers. For Dawson, they're led by Skylar Clark, who has 12 points here at halftime. He has 1 two-point field goal, 3 three-pointers, 1 out of 3 from the charity stripe. Next up is Landon Pace, who has 2 three-point field goals and 1 2, and 2 out of 2 from the free throw line for 10 points. And then it drops down to Dylan Dawson with 3 two-point field goals for 6 points. Austin Skinner with a 3-pointer and a 2-pointer for 5 points. Logan McKnight with a 2-point field goal for 2 points. And those are the only kids that have scored for Dawson. Dawson with 35 points here at halftime. Dawson with also 7 fouls. Dawson 3 out of 6 from the free throw line, and I have them with 8 turnovers. As we were talking, I've been trying to keep up with assists tonight because I felt like in a racehorse basketball game, Dennis, we're going to see a lot of breakouts and wide open men, and Darren has found the way to, so far in the first half, to have 7 assists. Sure, he's got that many rebounds and already 13 points, so he's well on his way at least to a double-double and maybe a triple-double before the night is over.
And Bob, a lot of those assists down to Cole Smiley, who's having his way underneath. He's got the size on just about everybody unless they bring in Dylan Dawson, and he's still got a couple inches on Dawson. But a lot of nice passes into Smiley. Probably his best first half of the season as he's in double figures here tonight with, 10 points for Smiley
at
10, halftime. So.
And you're right. He was the recipient of about 3 or 4 of those assists from Darian.
And Cole also rebounding well tonight.
Yes, I would imagine Cole's got 4 or 5 rebounds here at the half break. But the Tigers really offensively minded tonight and haven't played too bad defense, but they lose their. Dawson is such a run-oriented offense, and nobody stands still in Dawson's offensive scheme, and you've got to have an idea of what's going on or you'll lose your man. We've lost 3 or 4 men tonight for a little wide open shots inside, and they've made those. So still with a 19-point lead, you can't be too much to find fault with the Tigers' effort so far tonight.
No, I think you're right. Early on, Caldwell County tried to press. That press was a little bit loose, and Dawson was able to break it, get down for some open threes, and it was Skylar Clark mostly helping Dawson stay in this one early with some of the threes. But Dawson had some open looks, made 3 of their first 4 from behind the arc. Caldwell County tightened that up a little bit more towards the second quarter before they pulled that press off. And it was well into the second quarter before Dawson made another 3-pointer.
And the Tigers coming out late here at halftime, under 1 minute to go here at halftime, and they're just now making their way to the bench. And we're going to remind you that the third quarter is brought to you by Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique, located next to the bowling alley in Princeton. Stop by and see Pam. We know that furniture's arriving out there daily. Ask her for what kind of deals and bargains that she's got. Stop in and meet Jake, the store mascot. Cozy Living, everything a home should be. We still got basically 25 seconds to go here. Coach K talking to his players, bench area as well as Dawson. Nobody out yet.
Yeah, I think Coach K is going to be tickled with that 8 kids in the scorebook in that first half. I want to mention that Farless Realty brings you our halftime show. We appreciate all of our friends at Farless Realty. Give them a call today at 270-365-5058 or go by 323 South Jefferson Street in Princeton. You can also check out their listings on Facebook and at farlessrealty.com.
Tigers to inbound the ball here to start the third quarter at side midcourt. And for the call here in the third quarter, Tiger sportscaster Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. Caldwell County puts it in play to Boyd. Boyd down to the corner. Quick three up and off the rim by Ray. No good. But Fralix with the rebound back up and in. So Caden Fralix adds to his total. Caldwell County's lead back at 21. Dawson puts it in play. Caldwell comes back out of the locker room with the press. Dawson gets it to Clark. Clark in the corner brings it out to McKnight. To Pace. Pace drops it back off to Clark. Clark guarded by Darius Riley. They work it over to Skinner. Skinner with some tight defense from Jamarius Blaine. And the steal finally by Riley as Dawson tried that weave out front. Shot up, and they're going to say it's on the floor.
They ought to count that basket because he was on his way for a two-pointer.
Yeah, that was kind of very borderline there. Caldwell County's going to have to take it out underneath their own basket. They'll get it to Fralix. He'll put the three up. No good. Rebound kicks out to Riley. Riley drives the baseline, puts a left-handed shot up off the glass for a Farmers Bank shot, and he'll go to the free throw line. Try to cap this three-point play. 58-35, Caldwell County out of the gates quickly here in the third quarter.
And the foul is going to be on Dylan Dawson, I believe. Yes, his third.
That's his third, and that's the only person inside doing much damage for Dawson. So with him out, you might look for Cole Smiley back in early. They're going to waive the free throw off for a lane violation on either Boyd or on Riley. So take the point off the board, 58-35, Caldwell County leads. Dawson, the inbound link to the court. Caldwell County's going to come man-to-man press. Quick hands by Jamarius Blaine, knocks it out of bounds, and Dawson will get another try. From the baseline, Dawson looks for an open player. They want to go length of the court. John Davis back well for Caldwell County. And that's got to be close to a 5-second call. Quick timeout by Dawson. It's going to be a 30-second timeout, so John, we'll keep it right here. 30-second timeout called by Dawson to save the possession on nice defense on the inbounds play by Caldwell County. Russo Law sponsors our timeouts this year. Russo Law is located in downtown Princeton, and they're ready to serve all of your legal needs. Bob, Caldwell County's brought out the intensity out of the locker room after that big first half, 54-point first half. A couple of steals, good defensive play, almost another turnover calls right there with a 5-second call saved by the coach for Dawson Springs.
I'm sure the emphasis at halftime, Dennis, is right. We're going to gear up and play defense until we drop. Teams are back out onto the floor. Dawson Springs to inbound it at the back court to come the length of the court. And for the call, Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. It's Dawson from the baseline corner. Fralix in position to keep it as best he can. Lob up, and going up high is Blaine. Blaine gets it to Boyd. Bob, that's one of those situations you talked about. As Boyd came in, tried the left-handed slam, goes off the rim. But we probably got away with a travel. I don't know how these guys aren't calling travel when you can roll 4 or 5 times on the floor with the ball. Three-pointer by Skylar Clark from the top of the key, and the lead back at 20. Caldwell County quick outlet pass to Riley. He goes up for the shot, no good, but he'll go to the free throw line for a couple of Lake Barkley CrossFit free throws.
Foul on 30, Cameron Boyd. Dawson's third here so far in the third quarter.
And it's going to be a Darius Riley at the free throw line. First shot up and good. Enhancing athletic performance locally since 2014. That's Lake Barkley CrossFit. Riley will get the second. This one, shooter's roll over the front of the rim, good. 60-38 Caldwell County. Dawson quickly the other way. And I think Clark stepped on the baseline. Is that what they're going to call?
I think so, yes.
And the turnover gives it back to the Tigers.
Dawson with 3 turnovers so far in the first minute, 30 seconds of the third quarter.
Dawson's coach not fond of that call. He thought his player was fouled on the baseline. He's letting the same referee that Coach K had words with earlier know about it. In the meantime, Boyd with the right-handed layup is good. Dawson quickly, though, back the other way. Shot no good. Dawson knocks the ball out of bounds on the rebound attempt. It'll go back to Caldwell County. So the one referee on the court tonight getting an earful from both coaches so far in this ball game. Caldwell up the other way. One-step move by Darius Riley. He's fouled on the shot. Caldwell sees a mismatch on that sideline. They're getting it down to Riley in that corner, and he's going baseline 2 or 3 times in a row now.
Third foul on Boyd.
So Riley with 2 shots. First one good. He'll get another Lake Barkley CrossFit free throw. And Bob, we're only at the 6:14 mark of the third quarter. Caldwell County already with 63 points on the night. 63-38. As Riley will try to tack on the second one. Good. Caldwell comes man-to-man press. Full court. They get it into Skinner. Skinner back to Dawson. Over to Clark. Back to Skinner. The ball comes loose, and it's on the floor. Both players trying to go for it. It's Riley getting control of it in the lane. Kicks it out to Davis. Davis has it go off his leg. Good hustle by Caden Freilich. Saves it for Caldwell County. And Boyd will try to end it with a 3. Top of the key. No good. Dawson had the rebound. Davis knocks it out. Gets it back out to Riley. Riley's going to drive, run her down to Blaine. Blaine, Farmer's bank shot from in close on the right side. 66-38 Caldwell County. Skinner dribbles it on the floor till it just rolled. Able to save it. Shot no good from the outside by Pace. Quick outlet pass to Boyd. Boyd gives it back out to Blaine. Blaine with the runner up, no good. And it's Dylan Dawson with the rebound. They get it down to Clark. Clark guarded by Freilich. Freilich knocks it away momentarily. Clark retrieves, gets it back to Dawson. Back tipped out by Riley, but he's going to get called for the reach. Very quick hands, Caldwell County defensively here to open this second half.
It's an exciting game. And this is just, these kids are diving on the floor with no respect for their body.
Of course, you're going to see some of the old strawberry burns on the legs after this one. Boyd intercepts the inbounds play, gets the pass over to Riley. Layup is good, and the lead's at 30. Pace quickly the other way. It's going to be a travel called on McKnight on the left-hand side.
5 turnovers for no turnovers for the Tigers here.
Timeout's being called on the floor by Dawson. It's going to be a full, so we'll take a break also. 4:57 left to go in the third quarter. It's Caldwell County 68, Dawson 38. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is Tiger Basketball on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
What does your morning sound like?
Itsy bitsy spider, rock-a-bye baby.
She's finally asleep.
Hi, welcome to McDonald's.
Can I get a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, please?
Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
Back to Tiger Sports on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
And we're back here at the Cab. 4 minutes, 57 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Caldwell County out to a 30-point lead. The Tigers inbound it and bring it the length of the court. And for the call here in the third quarter, Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. Caldwell gets it into Darren Boyd. Just under 5 minutes to go here in the third. Caldwell County gets it to Riley, to Blaine, back over on the assist to Boyd. And Caldwell hits the 70-point mark. Dawson quickly the other way. Good play, I thought, by Jamarius Blaine. As he went for the ball low on a driving McKnight. They're going to call Jamarius with the foul, though. His third.
His third foul.
Only the second on the Tigers, but 2 free throws coming up for Logan McKnight. First one's good. He'll get another. I thought Blaine hit that ball exactly where he needed to. What coaches will teach you, go for the ball low when they go up for the layup. Second shot also good. 70-40 here with 4:36 to go in the third quarter. Davis pulls up with it. Gets it over to Riley. Riley to Blaine on the baseline. Drives, puts it up, no good. Fralix with the rebound, goes back up. And this one is good. Farmers Bank shot, Caden Fralix.
Rebounding like he's 6'6".
Yeah, Fralix playing like he's a post player tonight.
He may have 5, 6, 7, 8 rebounds right now.
And a steal for Fralix as he'll take this one in. Easy layup for Caden Fralix.
Caden by far having his best scoring night of his career.
A couple of Tigers may have their best tonight as Cole Smiley has a great first half. Steal by Boyd. Caldwell County just pouring it on defensively now. They put it up to Boyd on the alley-oop back from Riley. It's good. 76-40. Boyd almost had another steal. It's going to be Clark launching the three, top of the key, good. Substitute set to come in for Caldwell County, but the way these guys are playing, you're really not dropping off a lot. You're going to bring Smiley, Ray, and Tripp Branch into the ball game. Ball loose. This one's going to go across half court and out of bounds. It'll be a turnover. Tigers.
Tigers' first turnover of the third quarter coming with 3 minutes and 20 seconds. The clock continues. I guess we're on a running clock, Dennis.
And it is a running clock. It'll be difficult to put up 100 tonight, but Caldwell County well on the pace to 76-43 Tigers. Caldwell looking to get out 1-0 in the district. TJ Ray guarding Clark. They work it underneath to Dylan Dawson. Puts a hook shot up, no good. But the rebound's going to go out of bounds. They're going to say it was off of Dawson. And I did not see that. I got to give it to the Dawson coach on that one. And the same referee that maybe he just likes to hear the coaches talk a little bit. Technical foul called on Dawson's coach by that referee that's had words tonight with Coach K and the coach for Dawson. Caldwell's going to send TJ Ray to the line for the free throws.
Yeah, the referee missed that call, missed it badly because it was clearly off Cole Smiley's hands.
So TJ Ray at the free throw line. He'll shoot the technicals. First one, good.
TJ 2 out of 2 at the charity stripe tonight.
I love it when TJ gets into the ball game. He's pure fight. It doesn't matter if he's guarding somebody 6'8" or 5'8". Second shot, no good. 77-43, running clock when they put it back in play. They do stop it for free throws. And the coach with the seatbelt rule in high school, get the technical called, he'll take a seat. So Dawson's coach asked the referee just to verify, does take a seat. Caldwell puts it back in play. Looks like Dawson's going to try a 2-3 zone. They'll work it. Caldwell works it underneath to East. He puts the bucket in on an assist from Smiley. Ray guarding Clark. Get it out to Skinner. He'll launch a three. Good from the left wing. Austin Skinner with the bucket. Dawson has lived by the threes tonight, especially in that first quarter. Branch saves it in on the pass from Ray, gets it down to the corner to East. East looks it over, back to Branch. He'll put up a three, right wing. Goodwin Insurance three-pointer. Trip Branch, 82-46. Back to Skinner, got away with a walk, goes up for the shot, no good. But I think they're going to call either Branch or Ray with the foul. Well, it's going to be East with the foul, excuse me. Well, I had it narrowed down to the other three, and I still didn't get the percentages.
I thought it was on Trip myself.
I did too. Skinner with the free throw, good. We've been on both sides of a score like this, Bob. It's pretty fun up here to get light about it. As the second free throw is good, but I've liked Caldwell County's intensity even with the lead tonight defensively. They came out of the locker room with a big lead and just poured it on to start the second half. Branch is going to let it go from the left wing. Goodwin Insurance three-pointer, back-to-back, Trip Branch, 85-48. Skinner, top of the key, guarded by Branch. He'll take it down the lane, shot up, and Tripp will get this foul as he blocked that one from behind but got the shoulder.
Well, let's
Austin
see.
Skinner.
Oh, they did get him. I thought they were just guessing again.
Randomly pick a white jersey. Free throw, good. Second foul on Tripp Branch. Fourth on Caldwell County in the half. Minute 3 left in the third quarter. Shot good. Skinner with some good form. Made the free throws here in the third quarter. It's going to be a Darius Riley bringing it down for Caldwell County. He's at the point, gets it over to Ray. Ray goes off the screen by Smiley, puts it to East. East over to Riley. Riley sees a lane, goes in, right side, no good. Rebound comes down to Dylan Dawson. Quick outlet pass to Williams. Williams picked up by Smiley. He'll get it back out to Skinner. 35 seconds to go in the third quarter. Williams will put three up from the corner, no good. And it's East mostly with the rebound. Loose ball comes back up to Branch, so technically Branch with the rebound. Branch guarded by Skinner, gets it over to Riley. 20 seconds for Caldwell County. TJ Ray at the point. He's guarded by number 21, Colby Williams for Dawson Springs. Ray gets the pick from East out front, drives the lane, he's fouled. 3.6 left on the clock. That'll be the sixth team foul on Dawson. Caldwell County will be in the bonus going into the fourth quarter unless they were to get fouled in the last 3.6. They get it in to Riley. Riley, cross-court pass to the trainer. That one sails way over the head of Ray. And that ends the third quarter. After 3 quarters of play, it's Caldwell County by 35, 85-50. We'll be back with fourth quarter action in 30 seconds. You're listening to Tiger Basketball on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
It's over and it's a brand new year. Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique Princeton would like to say thank you for your business in 2018, and they are excited about what the new year will bring. They're offering a great special for the first of the year. Buy any size mattress and get your box springs half off. There's also 10% off the store, and the boutique is priced at 30% off. Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique, located right next to the bowling alley in Princeton. Stop in soon and take advantage of these first of the year specials. Buy any size mattress, get your box springs half off. 10% off the store and 30% off the boutique. Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique Princeton. Everything a home should be.
Back to Tiger Sports on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.
And we're back here at the Cab. Caldwell County outscoring the Panthers in that third quarter, 31 points to 15. Dennis, 31. Fourth quarter is being brought to you by Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique, located next to the bowling alley in Princeton. Beautiful furniture, baby furniture. Stop in and see Pam. Stop in and also meet Jake, the store mascot. Cozy Living, everything a home should be. Dawson to inbound it to start the fourth quarter, and for the call, Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. Dawson has it. Gets it over to number 25, Cunningham. His first action tonight. as reserves are in everywhere for Caldwell County. Dawson puts the shot up for the Panthers. Off the backboard, no good, but he'll go to the free throw line for a couple of shots. Bob, really the only drama here tonight, or suspense at this point, as Caldwell leads by 35, is whether the Tigers will hit that century mark tonight. Dawson shot up, no good.
All we need is 15 points in 7 minutes and 43 seconds. I don't see us taking the foot off the gas, Dennis. I think we all let these kids play.
Second one is good. Jabrion Spikes into the ball game, as is number 14 for Caldwell County, is Leighton Hammett. So Caldwell County going deep into the bench. TJ Ray at the point, gets it over to Spikes, who had a whale of a JV game. From the spot he's standing in right now, hit 2 or 3 threes that we saw after we got here. It's going to be East with the three-pointer. Goodwin Insurance three-pointer for Jude East. Everybody getting into the action here tonight for Caldwell County. Spikes guarding the point. Dawson dribbles into the lane, gets it out to Clark. Clark still in the ball game for the Panthers. Dawson fakes on the baseline, drives up and in. That's number 25, Matthew Cunningham with the bucket. 88-53 Tigers. Jabrion takes the point, gets it over to Hammett. Hammett feeds it inside to Smiley. Smiley goes up, left-handed shot, good. Cole Smiley having a whale of a game tonight. And it's Caldwell County 90, Dawson 53. I think everybody's starting to scoreboard watch just a little bit now. Dawson's Clark, three from the right side, no good. Rebound comes back to the Panthers. Shot no good. Smiley takes care of the rebound this time, though, with some authority. Gets it out to TJ Ray. Ray will bring it down the court. Has Spikes open. Instead goes to East. East is going to get fouled right at the edge of the three-point line. And that will send East to the line for one in the bonus. He'll get his first Lake Barkley CrossFit free throw. Bob, I like the intensity. Caldwell County has kept it up offensively and defensively in this game, even with the big lead. They didn't slack off. Everybody's keeping the pedal down, if you will, on this one, and it's really paying off. Everybody getting into the act in the scorebook just about.
I think everybody has scored except Jabrion and Leighton.
East misses the free throw, and it's going to go the other way. They'll get the foul. See who they'll call the foul on for the Tigers. It's going to be on Hammett. Dawson quickly the other way. Just inside the three-point line, no good. Ball tipped up, and it's going to be TJ Ray. No-look pass over to Jabrion Spikes. Puts it up off the board. Farmers bank shot. Jabrion Spikes, 92-53. And the Tigers really pouring it on here. Hammett almost with the steal. Now Jabrion and Hammett team up. Ball loose on the ground. And Hammett in a little bit of a scuffle with number 25. That's Matthew Cunningham. Cunningham basically had the tackle near midcourt. And he'll get whistled for the foul, I think.
I think I don't know what
they're going to.
They haven't put anything up yet.
I thought they gave that
maybe a turnover.
Cunningham a foul on the floor. Maybe they didn't. Nobody put up on the board. Turnover gives it to Caldwell County. Into the ball game, number 32
is Blake Vivrette.
Blake Vivrette seeing his first action tonight. Smiley underneath, backs his way in, has it blocked. Jude East comes up, uses his 6'3" frame to get it back. Now Smiley said, I'll take it from the corner. No good. Jabrion Spikes up high for the rebound. Goes up, has it blocked inside. And Dawson comes back with it. Couple of good defensive plays by the Panthers on that end. This one thrown out of bounds as it just came out of the hands of number 21, Colby Williams for Dawson Springs as he tried to take the left-handed layup. On the floor for Caldwell County, it's Hammett, East, Smiley, Viverette and Spikes. Spikes has the point. Gets it over to Viverette. Viverette goes off the pick, gets it over to Smiley. Smiley wanted to go underneath the East. Instead, takes it right wing to Jabrion. He pulls up from 14 off the rim. No good. Save in and just off the hands of Leighton Hammett. Good hustle play by Viverette. And Dawson comes back the other way. Scoreboard goes off, and they'll call a timeout on that one.
Okay, who stepped on the plug?
And some, because they got to get that going. Everybody's watching that to see if Caldwell County can get into that 100-point mark. I think there was about 4.5 to play when that one went out. We'll keep it right here, Bob, as they try to take care of the situation. Stay tuned after this ball game. We'll have the Trilogy Performance Sports postgame show coming your way. We'll hopefully talk with Coach K and get his thoughts on picking up the early district win and tell us what he thinks of his team going into next week's big showdowns with Hopkins Central and Madisonville. We're going to put 3:30 on the clock. And I don't know if they're going to remember the score. We're going to have to add the books up. Caldwell County had 92, I'm fairly sure. 92-53 is what John Miller, our tech guy, has. They've got 92 up there. And the assist to John Miller tonight on this one, Bob, as he puts the score up off the computer as he's watching on the live stream tonight. Glad to have the live stream back in action. We had some difficulty last night at Dawson, not a lot of internet service. So if you want to check out the girls' big win over Dawson last night, you'll have to do that on YouTube. Dawson gets it in. They'll drive the baseline. Foul's going to be on Jabrion Spikes with the big chop over the shoulder of number 53, Rhett Needers.
Looks like it's a pretty tall kid from here, Dennis.
And I think both teams ought to be in the bonus right now. They've got 0 fouls up after that clock stoppage.
2, 3, 4. Yeah, we've got 7 fouls.
So Needers goes to the line for one in the bonus. Off the back of the rim, no good. Smiley with another bucket. He's got to have a double-double at least tonight.
I know he's got over a bunch of points.
They get it underneath the East. East gave it up on the block. Pulls it back out, gets it to Smiley. Smiley to Spikes. 3 minutes to go in the ball game. Spikes to Hammett. Hammett's going to drive, kicks it back out to Smiley, all alone at the three-point line. Turns it over to Spikes. Spikes goes off the pick from Viverette, and he's going to get called for the carry. Bob, I don't know if it's a matter of Coach K telling him to pull the reins back a little bit or just Smiley just wanted to turn down the three, but wide open on that one. Got it back to Spikes in a little bit of traffic, and Spikes had to palm the ball on his drive to the baseline. They get it into Needers. Jump shot, no good. Cole Smiley, yet another rebound. Get it up to Hammett. Hammett to Spikes. Spikes drives the baseline. Changed his mind midair. Somehow gets the ball back over to Hammett. Hammett has it knocked away. He gets it up to number 20. Very sloppy game as Dylan Skinner comes up with it. They get it to Cunningham. Drives, reverse layup, if you will call it that. As close as I guess he's going to come to a reverse layup. No chance at it going in. Minute 48 to go here in the ball game now. Caldwell's going to tickle 100, but maybe not get there tonight as Spikes drives the baseline. Left-handed shot rolls off the front of the rim. No good. Spikes keeps it in play. Over to Viverette. Viverette to East. Back to Viverette. Caldwell County is going to be content with a big win tonight, not worrying about the 100. Spikes dribbles in. Back over to East to Hammett. Hammett the only player, or Hammett and Viverette the only two players that have not scored tonight that have been in the ball game. Minute 14. Spikes guarded at the timeline. Gets it down to Viverette. Left wing, he'll drive baseline, has it back, tipped away out of bounds by number 20, Dylan Skinner. Caldwell County will take it out of bounds underneath their own basket. Running clock as we are under a minute to go here at the Cab. Hammett gave up the shot, gets it inside to East. East tries to go up. Terrible angle as he hit the underside of the backboard. Dawson comes up with the rebound. Inside to Neaters. Shot well short, goes out of bounds. And Caldwell County with the basketball coming back the other way. Half a minute to go before we get this one in the books. Caldwell County will be 1-0 in the district and 10-4 on the season. Viverette will dribble this one up. He gets across the timeline. Caldwell content just to run the clock out on this one. Hammett with it now. Hammett gets it back to Viverette, to Smiley. Crowd yelling three. The Caldwell Crazies wanting the shot. But that's going to do it as the horn sounds. Caldwell County with a big win over Dawson Springs. It was Caldwell County 92, Dawson Springs 53. We'll be back on with all the game stats and Coach K Chat coming up after the game also. All that coming your way on the Trilogy Performance Sports post-game show, so stay tuned. We'll be back for that in just a few minutes. You're listening to Tiger Basketball on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
Here's a reminder from your Princeton Electric Plant Board. Meter tampering is dangerous. Tampering with an electric meter is not only dangerous, it is dishonest and against the law. Stealing electricity by tampering with an electric meter may result in your arrest and can even risk your life. Tampering with meters results in increased utility bills that everyone has to pay. If you see anyone tampering with an electric meter, call the Princeton Electric Plant Board right away at 270-365-2031. Princeton Electric Plant Board, Princeton's #1 energy source.
This is Carol at the Woodall Agency at 110 West Washington Street in the heart of downtown Princeton. Our agency is proud to have been a part of this community since 1907. We want you to come by and see us soon. We may be able to save you some money on your home, auto, motorcycle, or mobile home insurance. We offer discounts for good students, multi-policy, safe drivers, and many more. We appreciate our loyal customers, and we will work hard to make you feel like part of the Woodall Agency family. Call me today at 365-5541.
On this episode of the world's shortest sitcom by KFC. Like I always say, it's the inside that counts. Like what's inside my new KFC 10-piece chicken feast. It's 10 pieces of chicken, 2 large mashed potatoes, and 4 biscuits for $19.99. Get more meal for the family for under $20. That's what really matters. It's pretty incredible what chicken can teach you about life. Anyways, KFC is finger-licking good. At participating KFCs, prices may vary. Tax and substitutions extra.
Happy 2019, Pennyrile Electric members. It's a new year, a fresh start, and a great time to update your account information. Update by April 30th, and you'll automatically be eligible to win one of several prizes, like a 43-inch flat-screen TV, $100 cash, or even a $50 Pennyrile Electric bill credit. Update your account information with Pennyrile Electric today. You can do it right there on your phone online at PRECC.com. Happy New Year, and all the best in 2019 from Pennyrile Electric.
Get into shape and feel good at Trilogy Performance Sports in Princeton. Trilogy offers a wide range of classes to help you reach your fitness and well-being goals, like yoga, gymnastics, sports training, team training, cardio, kickboxing, and weightlifting. They have family discounts, and your first class is free. So come work out in a family-friendly environment at Trilogy Performance Sports, located directly behind Cash Express in Princeton. Open 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. Be better than you used to be at Trilogy Performance Sports Princeton. Telephone 270-601-1824.
The scorebook is closed on this game. It's time for the Caldwell County postgame show on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
And back to the Cab as Caldwell County pulls off the big district opener win over Dawson Springs, 92-53. This is the Trilogy Performance Sports postgame show. Trilogy Performance Sports offers a variety of fitness programs, including kickboxing, fitness training, gymnastics, sports training. They're open. I think I just caught on the spot, Bob. I may have to change our spot here at the game. Open Monday, or open 7 days a week, 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. First visit's always free, so come into Trilogy Performance Sports and be better than you used to be, and we appreciate those guys sponsoring our post-game show here on WPKY. Bob, 92 points. We tickled with 100, had a chance as we got stuck on 92 for about the past 3.5, 4 minutes of the ball game.
And
still a great night offensively for the Tigers.
Right, in the fourth quarter, it was obviously a low-scoring quarter, Dennis. We outscored Dawson 7-3 in the fourth quarter. So, obviously, with a running clock and a lot of the subs in, some of the subs weren't looking for their shots, even though they may have had the opportunity to take a couple of 3 shots. So, but they still played that tenacious defense all the way through the end of the game. So
yeah, 85 points through 3 quarters is pretty dang good.
Exactly, and we don't know whether Coach K is coming up, so we'll go over the stats right now for Caldwell County. 2 players share the scoring lead tonight. Caden Fralix with 19 points, 13 in the first half, 6 in the second half, and probably a bushel basket of rebounds. Most of his points coming on follow shots. Darian Boyd also with 19 points. Again, similar statistics, 13 points first half, 6 in the second half. So 19 points for those 2 players. 2 more Tigers in double figures. Cole Smiley with 12 points on 6 field goals tonight. 10 points for Darius Riley, 2 coming in the first half, 8 in the second half. 5 points for Jude East, all coming in the second half on a 2-pointer and a 3-pointer. 4 points for John Davis, his coming in the first half. 4 points for Jamarius Blaine, 2 points in each half. 4 points for TJ Ray, 3 in the first half, 1 in the second half. And 2 points for Jay Brown Spikes, that coming in the second half. Total of 38 points in the second half for the Tigers, total of 92 for the game. Tigers 11 out of 15 from the free throw line tonight, and I have us with 8 turnovers, and keeping up with what I was trying to do with assists. Darian, to my stats, only recorded 8 assists tonight. TJ Ray with 1, Darius Riley with 2, Jamarius Blaine 1, Trip Branch 1, John Davis 1, Caden Fralix 1, Cole Smiley with 2. So again, another night of sharing the basketball. We got a lot of our points on putbacks tonight, so don't get any assists when you rebound your missed teammate shots put back. Dawson led tonight by Skylar Clark with 18 points. He had 5 3-pointers, 1 2-pointer, 1 out of 3 from the charity stripe for his 18. 12 points for Austin Skinner. 5 in the first half, 7 in the second half. He had 2 threes tonight, 1 2-point, and 4 out of 4 from the free throw line. 10 points for Landon Pace, all his points coming in the first half. 7 points for Dylan Dawson, all his 6 of his 7 points coming in the first half, 1 in the second half. 4 points for Logan McKnight, 2 points in each half, and 2 points for Matthew Cunningham. His 2 coming in the second half, total of 53 points for Dawson tonight. Dawson picked it up a little bit in the second half at the free throw line, shooting 7 out of 9 for the game, 10 out of 15. And I have Dawson for the night with 17 turnovers. So the Tigers defense tonight creating at least 17 turnovers for the Panthers, and that was the story of the game, Dennis. We turned offense. We went into offense from defense tonight.
Yeah, we came out with that intensity right out of the gate tonight. Dawson tried to hang around thanks to Clark, Skylar Clark there in the first quarter, but Caldwell County was just too much tonight. You had, 5 players in double figures?
Yes, let's
tonight,
see,
led by
four players.
And Boyd?
Yeah, with Boyd and Fralix, and also in double figures, Cole Smiley and Darius Riley. But everybody that played tonight scored except for Leighton Hammett and Blake Vivrette. So,
well, how many did Branch end up with?
Tripp ended up with 13. Excuse me. So we did have 5
in double figures. So a great job. We talked about it in the pregame, Bob. These guys share the basketball, and the assist tonight. You started charting some of Darren's early on. He was feeding the ball a lot to Smiley, some back out to Fralix, but they shared the ball. They put up some good quality shots, and they played defense. It didn't matter if they were up by 30, 20, 10 starting out. they played defense with that same intensity all throughout this ball game, and I think that's something that Coach K will be very happy with.
If we get Coach K up here tonight, my first question is going to be how many Band-Aids did we issue after the game for floor burns and.
Oh yeah, those kids were diving on the floor tonight.
And Neosporin, how many tubes of that did we go through? But
I'll give them another minute. But I enjoyed the ball game tonight. It was a good game for the Tigers. Now the Lady Tigers and Tigers both 1-0 in the district, but the real test for both of those squads actually starts tomorrow night for the Lady Tigers, as we're going to make the trip over to Morton's Gap, your favorite town in the whole world, over to Morton's Gap. It's the Caldwell County Lady Tigers and the Hopkins Central Lady Storm tomorrow night. We'll be on the air around 7:15, 7:30 tip-off for that one. So that's where it starts. Then the boys will play Hopkins Central, I think, on Tuesday. No, it's is it? You have the schedule with you?
It's in my book.
Okay. But we know they play Hopkins Central next week. They've got a doubleheader, boys and girls, with Madisonville on tap for next week. That may be on Thursday. So it's district time. It's time to see where you're going to be seated in that tournament, and it lets you see where you stand this point of the year in your district and what you've got to work on.
And one thing we know tomorrow night, and we will have all our information together tomorrow night, we will be at Hopkins Central tomorrow night for the women's game, beginning at around 7:30 or something on the air at 7:15. So
yeah, we'll iron some details out.
Yeah, we'll get the
about
details
next week. Mostly home games we're doing for the Tigers and Lady Tigers, but we'll check on that because that's going to be a couple of good games, especially that doubleheader on Thursday night at Madisonville. Madisonville is probably the second-ranked boys team in the region, but they're playing very close, played UH8 a one-point ball game, so you can't rule them out. Caldwell County, if they share the ball like this, play defense like this, you catch a team on not even an off night. If they play this well against Madisonville or UHA, they're going to make a game out of it.
And if you get, like University Heights, you get Tandy in foul trouble where he has to set out some of the game, it's a situation where we might make hay in a situation like that.
Yeah, games aren't played on paper; they're played on WPKY, and that's what we'll be bringing you.
Exactly.
Is that what they say?
We see Coach K making his way up here.
Bob, I'll give you the honors tonight if you want. I'm sure it's going to be a very easy
not a long
interview. It's going to be a pretty fun one. So
yes,
I'm going to back off, give you this seat, and let the coach sit down. For the Tigers tonight, as they win 92-53. Coach K coming up, and we'll trade the headphones to him.
Welcome, Coach K.
Thank you.
We were wondering why you were so long in the locker room. You were handing out Band-Aids and Neosporin for the floor burns that we were picking up out here tonight. You had your kids fired up, motivated, and I saw more players on the court tonight maybe than I've seen the last 3 years combined.
I'll be honest with you. At halftime, I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy with the way we played. I thought we settled. I thought we didn't play to the standard that we tried to set for that we set ever since the third game of the season. I don't think it was anything that – I think it was we were in control of everything that was happening, and we were playing into their hands. We talked about it before the game. We knew they were going to shoot three. They shoot like 28 of them a game. I told the guys, get your hands up, guard the perimeter. We've talked about it the last couple of days in practice. We didn't do a very good job of that. Rebound the basketball, defense, we were lazy. But on the flip side of that, first 3 or 4 minutes of the second half, we really came out and we picked up our energy. We picked up our pace a little bit, and we played like we were supposed to. And we did a lot of good things in the first half, but it just wasn't to the standard that we've set.
Well, we know that when we were Dawson was a continual motion tonight, and if you backed off and took a half a step, you were already half a step behind your player, especially if they were heading to the basket or to the three-point line to make the shot. And we knew when you came out at halftime, you kept the team in there almost the entire halftime that you were probably talking about defense.
Absolutely, I was not happy. We just didn't play very well defensively in the first half. We did a lot of things that, and here's what bothered me. If that's the way we play defense all year long, it's all we were capable of, that's all I can ask of the guys. But I know we're capable of so much more, and the coaches and I were talking just of several plays that we point out to the guys that are uncharacteristic of what. I just go back to the standard that we've set of how we want to play.
Well, but Dawson did not change their strategy at all. Anytime they got the open three, they took it. And I will have to agree with you. A lot of those threes were within three feet of being wide open.
Absolutely.
They were not shot under duress.
That's right. We just didn't do a very good job. And a couple of them, I think the very first one of the game against the guy that we averaging 22, I think, a game, we were a foot and a half off of him, and our hands were down, and he buried it right in our face. And we've talked about that. That's the one guy. I mean, they have a lot of guys that can shoot. That's the one guy that we cannot give a wide open shot to, and he got confidence early.
Well, they got hot. They got on a roll there with probably 5 threes in the first quarter, and it's what kept them in the game, at least in the first quarter. And then we took command, our athleticism, our ability to rebound the basketball. We had several assists tonight, but once you got rolling, especially like you say after halftime, it was just we put 31 points up on the board in the first quarter and 31 in the third quarter. So we were getting up and down the floor pretty well.
Absolutely. I mean, the score 35 points at halftime. We held them to 18 points for the rest of the game. So that speaks to the guys, flipping the switch a little bit. And I understand, we've been off for a few days, a couple days of practice. We're back in school now, so there's some other factors that could play into it. But they're dealing with the same thing we are, and we can't. At this point, there's no time to make excuses.
Exactly, and just to start the district with a win is huge, and is also an opportunity tonight to get everybody into the game. And we saw a well of a game in that JV game where they pulled away really convincingly in the second half and won by probably 30. Jay Brion and TJ having great games in that contest, but every player you had in there tonight was, especially these last 5, were really getting after it.
They were. That's all I wanted to see. I just wanted to see us get after it, because when we get after it, I think there's a switch that happens that it makes us play better. If we just play harder with more energy, I think it locks us in mentally, it locks us in physically, and we just make better plays when we play harder with more energy. It doesn't matter. I don't care which of the 12 are on the floor.
And then the other thing, I knew that some of these kids were getting behind when we were trying to press, and they were not hitting the next available man. They were hitting the man down in the corner, and we couldn't seem to adjust to the long pass that Dawson was making when we had the kids trapped in backcourt. So we let them off the hook a little bit. Our press was designed to obviously attack them in backcourt, but they had their players spread out. So and they made the pass. They didn't throw the ball away too many times tonight on those long passes. They did commit 17 turnovers by my records, and we have 8. So we in a racehorse basketball game, we took care of the ball pretty well.
We did. There were a few that I remember, but that's not one of the things that I thought stood out to me, is that we did a terrible job of tonight.
Like 4 turnovers coming down the floor on 4 successive opportunities, but again, it's a win.
It's a win,
and it's a teaching win come Monday at practice, and we have our work cut out for us next week when we do play Madisonville. I think I haven't looked that forward out on the schedule, and maybe Hopkins Central.
Madisonville and Webster. We got Madisonville both on the road too. So big district game on Tuesday, and then the second round of the 2A Classic will be at Webster on Thursday. And I know that Coach Bashir on Tuesday and Coach Newton on Thursday will have their guys ready. And so we've got to make sure that we're ready to play and get back to playing like we want to play.
Absolutely. Any final comments before we shut her down for tonight?
I'll go back to what you said. Proud of the guys the way they finished the game up, and the bottom line is we got to win. So that's what you wanted when you came in tonight, and so again, another good crowd tonight, and you guys did an awesome job. So
it was a great crowd in here tonight.
It was.
Daniel Dawson brought a lot of people, and we had a lot. And before we even started the game, we had 2 referees over there trying to just what was going on with the crazies. I think they were just about a half inch from the blue, and those guys wanted control immediately. And we didn't think there were a couple times tonight when you didn't agree with one of the refs, and the Dawson coach didn't agree with one of the refs, but those things occur, and there were some touch fouls, there were some tackles going on out here that weren't called, But anyway, that's basketball. You're going to miss some. And
That's right.
Some touch fouls are going to get called. But congratulations on a win. Good luck next week with Madisonville North and Webster County, and we'll talk to you. We're not sure what our schedule is going to be just right now next week, but congratulations on a win.
All right, thank you guys.
Yes, sir. That's been Coach K. Caldwell County victorious tonight, 92-53. Coach K with the games next week coming up with Madisonville North.
Yeah, I completely forgotten about the 2A
yes, and then
championship coming up.
That's coming up Thursday night at Webster.
That's a doubleheader, girls and boys.
Yes, so we might be on the. Oh, well, we'll talk about that over the weekend as to what we want to do. We don't want to have to get home at midnight and have to get up at 4 o'clock.
That's going to be a long day, but we may have to take one for the team. I don't know. We'll talk about that tomorrow night on the way over to Morton's Gap.
We got 2 or 3 nights to mull that schedule over, but we'll know we'll be at Morton's Gap tomorrow night and with the Lady Tigers going. So that's it pretty well for tonight. The Coach K wasn't real happy with the defensive effort in the first half. We seemed to be a step behind a couple of our people that we knew could shoot the ball. We let them get off uncontested shots, and that's why they didn't come out to almost to the start of the third quarter.
Yeah, I'm sure he said he talked to them pretty hard about that at halftime, but you could see that starting to pick up a little bit in the second quarter. In fact, we talked about that press that was almost non-existent for us as Dawson rushed it up the court and got some open threes early in the ball game out of our press, but it started to tighten up in that second quarter a little bit. He called it off with about 3 minutes to go in the first half, and then whatever he said at halftime took hold because the Tigers came out and just blew this one even farther open and pushed away all the way out to that 92-53 win.
Exactly, and Dawson only scoring 18 points in the second half. So a good ball game all around. A teaching practice will be interesting come Monday, and with a big game on Tuesday with Madisonville North, and obviously a big game on Thursday at Webster. So we've played Webster once this year and beaten them here. Madisonville will be our first test for them.
Yeah, and Webster County's girls, if I'm not mistaken, the #1 rated team in the region. So that'll be a tough road to hoe for Caldwell County's Lady Tigers. But that's why they play them. I mean, Caldwell County's Lady Tigers did a good job making it to that point. I think it was that doubleheader win over Paducah Tillman. They got the Tigers and Lady Tigers to this point. So we know they can play the tough competition and win. That's going to be a tall one for the Lady Tigers, though, against Webster County.
Exactly. So another interesting week of basketball coming up starting tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night. Hope you'll join us tomorrow night. We'll be on the air about 7:15, maybe a little bit earlier over at Morton's Gap, so tune in for that as the Lady Tigers will try to pick up their second district win of the week, taking on Hopkins Central tomorrow night. We'll be on the air around 7:15, game time at 7:30. So for John Miller and Bob Hayes and Coach Earl joining us tonight up here at the booth, we appreciate him being up here. That's going to do it for us tonight, and we had a great time tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow night from Morton's Gap. This has been Tiger Basketball on WPKY 1580 103.3 and online at WPKYonline.com. We'll see you tomorrow night from Morton's Gap.
.3 WPKY and WPKYonline.com. Tiger sports coverage is brought to you in part by